All right, welcome into the Slobberknocker Sports Podcast. Happy Memorial Day to everybody out there. Thank you to all the veterans who served. We are forever grateful. Shout out Will Fagan, our buddy who was in the Marine Corps.
Love you, Will. Love you, brother.
I'm your host,
Devil Dog.
Coach Lieck, joined as always by my man Uncle T. And today we have a very, very special guest. He is a high school Army All-American, super highly touted offensive lineman. Played at Smithson Valley High School where I used to coach. Out of the San Antonio area, got a full scholarship to play at Texas A&M under Jimbo Fischer, and has now headed over to Waco, Texas to play for the Baylor Bears. Welcome to the show, Colton Thomasson. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, we're stoked, man. Yeah, thanks. Thank you for coming on. Obviously, you'll be up in Waco soon, headed to Baylor. How much time do you have till you have to go up there?
Yeah, so report date is next Monday. So
oh shit!
Wow.
Just in the transfer portal, that whole deal. I only got I think I got back last Wednesday.
Wow.
And yeah, just a week off. We're supposed to get the whole month of May off, and I unfortunately didn't get to do that.
That's crazy, dude. So you've been back for what day did you get back here?
Wednesday.
Man, God, that's like not a lot of time at all.
No.
So have you spent any time in Waco so far at all, or not really?
I was house hunting. There's actually a lot of cool stuff in Waco.
No, I've been to Waco a few times, and it's one of those. I think it's one of the cities that kind of gets a bad rep, but it's it's not bad at all. Waco's a good little, and then the university's cool. River running right through town, right by the stadium. Nice setup for sure.
There's a huge lake out there. I had no idea.
Yeah. Yep. Right there.
What spots have you hit up in San Antonio since you come back? Like food, like do you have some go-to places you go to?
I had to go to El Jalisco.
Oh yeah.
Branch. Shout out. I probably still want to go to Chris Madrid's.
Of course.
Let's go.
If you haven't had it, you need it.
Preaching to the choir, baby. Yes.
Outside of that, nothing yet. But
yeah. What's your go-to at Chris Madrid? You go for the cheddar cheesy?
No, I like the tostada burger.
Tostada burger, yeah.
My man, it's number one.
That's
Tostada burger's number one.
It's a good spot. That can be our business of the week right there. Shout out Chris Madrid.
I feel like if we haven't given them a shout out, I'd be surprised.
Well, it's just like such an obvious one because it's so dang good.
Yeah, I was at a bar, believe it or not, and it's shocker.
Oh, shocker, yeah.
Last week, and someone was saying, I know where that Jalisco is. Someone was saying, I've always wondered, I go out to play golf with him at Valor in Blanco, and there's the Shade Tree, like whatever. It's like a saloon right there. It's a bike. He said it's like a biker bar right there on the right. I don't know if you've been there, but it's Shady Tree Saloon or something like that. Right there on the way to Blanco. I think it's in Spring Branch.
I've eaten there before.
Just past Beefy's and stuff. And he was like, no, they have really good bar food. The food's good there. That's what he was saying.
It's pretty good.
Got to try that next time on the way there.
Used to be on 46 as you drove to Smithson Valley, right?
It used to be right by the school, and then for some reason, I guess they wanted more like room, so they moved down out damn near to Bergheim.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know why you would move, because like everybody used to go to Jalisco.
Right.
From a financial standpoint, it was the perfect spot.
It's perfect spot. I used to go there on the way, like literally we'd have weights in the morning. I'd go drive right down there, get it, and come back to school. Like it was a perfect spot.
That probably wasn't thought through very well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially with all the kids that love it. They go to school there.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, let's jump in. I got some questions for you, and we'll just kind of hang out here and talk football. So I'm just curious. So obviously, I didn't know this, but I was doing my research, and I was listening to an interview. You talked about you were a Tech fan growing up, right?
Yes, I was.
Yeah. So you, and then like 8th grade, you said that Jimbo Fischer invited you up there, right? And then that's when you kind of like started to like A&M. So what was that experience like? I know you went up early in December that first year. What was that like 3 semesters that you spent at College Station like?
It was awesome. It was a crazy experience for sure. Any college athlete will tell you that you have to absolutely love this game that you're playing in order to enjoy it. It was hard, but it was fun. There were definitely some crazy moments, but I grew a lot as a person and as a player.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I bet, man. Like what was that environment like in the stadium, like those night games? Like that to me seems like, and this is coming from a Texas fan, but that seems like the coolest environment in college football.
There are it's a wild environment at Kyle Field. I remember when we played Bama and it was 2 p.m. we still had like 108,000 people and we're running out, and the band, when it got to like the like that part, the band just stopped and you just hear like 108,000 people scream that. You're just like,
and you're coming from like a place where like, I mean, Smithson Valley is packed every night, but it's just a different level of like surrounding people, right? Like that's crazy, man. Yeah. So as a Longhorn fan, I have to ask this. You got, it said you were offered by UT as well, right? Did you ever consider going there?
100%. I think Coach Sark and Coach Flood there have done a great job, and they're going to continue to keep doing a great job. I just really didn't like Austin. I couldn't see myself living there, but UT itself, used to be the University of Texas.
Right.
Like if you were good in Texas, you went to Texas.
Of course. Yeah. I mean,
back then it was you either went to Texas or you went to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
The other Texas, it's like Adrian Peterson. Everybody, Oklahoma. It seems like every year in year out, the roster's 80% Texas.
Yeah.
70-80%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's
crazy.
bigger
player pool, obviously.
Yeah,
And
obviously.
like more talent in Texas.
I mean, there's not much coming out of Oklahoma. That's for sure.
I forgot to ask you this. I know we're talking A&M, but I'm curious. So obviously, like you guys at Smithson Valley were very close to getting to a state title your senior year. That was a blast for me to watch. I love watching. I mean, I have like a lot of you guys in class, and then you get to see you guys go play on the field, and y'all came up just a little bit short. How cool was it to see your guys go to that state championship the next year? Like, did you get to? I'm assuming you were playing or had stuff. You didn't get to go.
I went to the game.
Oh, you got to go. That's awesome.
I wasn't happy with the result.
Well, yeah, obviously, but
I loved seeing it for them. Just seeing those guys that I helped grow into those leadership positions.
Right.
Like Jackson Duffy, Jackson Maynard, Rylan Walker. Like, it was so cool to see them take what we taught them and what was instilled in them all the way to state. So,
right.
Yeah, I loved it for them.
Yeah, I mean, and you were a huge part of that, which I would assume would be a really cool experience, getting to see those guys. Like, you led that team for really 4 years. I mean, you were phenomenal there. And I remember, your dad and I are buddies and talking and telling me stories about how, like, it would be very easy for a guy who's that highly touted and that talented to get a big head, and how grounded you were and how you cared about the team. And that was what was so cool to me that I saw for 4 years. Like, just awesome. So I was just curious about that.
I just wanted to see all my guys succeed, And yeah, it could have been very easy for me to say, oh, okay, I'm going to go make sure that I'm going to be an All-American.
Right.
Yeah, but no, I wanted all my guys that are in the trench with me to reap these rewards.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, and it happened. I mean, they literally went to state championship based on kind of like you said, like you helping those guys develop into those leaders, which is really, really cool. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to ask that, but back to A&M. So, like, what is there? Do you even have time to do stuff other than football, like in CStat, like it, or are you just completely time consumed?
It really depends on the time of year. I would say, like, as of right now with summer workouts, it's going to be pretty chill. I don't know what the Baylor schedule looks like. But
you'll find a lot of them at Chimmy's, right? Some of them at Chimmy's.
That's a fun.
Yeah, it is. I've been there a few times.
But no, it's pretty much just work out in the morning and then kind of just chill out for the rest of the day. So yes, I do have. Mainly, I just kind of chill at the house, but
right.
Like, in the summer, I'll go swimming.
Right,
yeah.
Right. That's cool. So what was the coolest football environment you experienced last year outside of College Station, like in the away stadiums?
So I was on the travel team for 2 away games. So the Miami one, it honestly gets a bad rap because, like, yeah, they only pack like 10,000 people in there,
yeah,
which isn't a lot because it's an NFL stadium.
Right.
But, like, the way it's designed, it's pretty much like an amphitheater, so it makes 10,000 people sound like 80,000. So that was really cool. And then the other one I went to, and even though we lost, it was my favorite game, Ole Miss.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I'm not a big fan of Lane Kiffin. And just to like silence that crowd of all the like snobby like Ole Miss type of people. It was a lot of fun.
All of Dylan's people, all the Alma Heights, all the Alma Heights people.
Get out of here.
Yeah, those are just the facts, right, bud?
Taking shots. Hey, you're the Lane Kiffin guy over here.
I love Lane. Yeah. Full disclosure. I mean, listen, I used to hate him like 5 years ago, but the fact of the matter is with Lane, he's a pompous asshole. There's zero doubt about that. But when it comes to calling offensive plays, there's nobody better. Yeah. And it's not even close. Yeah. And especially in college football, there's no in the NFL, you have McVay, you have a couple other guys that are like on that level, but when it comes to dialing up and especially just weird plays too, he's an absolute genius. I love Lane for that. I also love that, he's on to his second. He's dating like a 23-year-old, which I also find absolutely hilarious. She's taking pictures out there with his kids, like on the field, and she's like 5 years older, which I find funny. But the guy does dial up some serious plays, so give him credit for that.
Genius,
yeah. No. I 100% get it. Yeah, I get it.
When we had lost to them, right? Like, they all start freaking out because we missed the field goal,
right?
And his one of their GAs came over to, it was not Jake Matthews. Why can't I think of his name? Jake Johnson.
Jake Johnson.
Yeah, I'm sitting there running out in the field with him, and this GA comes off and starts shoving. I was like, "Y'all suck."
Are you serious?
There's a coach doing this.
That's crazy,
dude. That's not good.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that is the reason. But like I said, he's a offensive genius.
Yeah. But that's crazy. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Speaking of coaches, what was Jimbo Fischer like? Like, what was it like playing for him? Because I know you said that was a big part of why you went there, right? You liked how he did things and things like that.
Yeah, I loved Coach Fischer and Coach Adazio, all those guys there. It was a lot like Smithson Valley, in all honesty, and I could relate to that really well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like a lot of, I think you mentioned it's like class and discipline and culture and things like that, right? Like very, very similar. And I would assume Smithson Valley probably prepared you a lot for that.
Smithson Valley really helped separate me in football because of those things.
Right.
Just the being early to everything.
Yep.
Always going 110%. It was really able to set me apart. Like, oh, okay, this kid's has a real high motor. He's going to bust his ass.
Right.
It's going to be great.
Right. For sure. I mean, and I could always see that. But of course, that's the type of thing that Larry Hill has always done there and instilled in his guys. He's a legend. Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have any, and if you don't, it's fine, but do you have any funny Jimbo stories you could tell us?
Probably not that I could say on the podcast. Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. That's
when
funny.
he'd get mad,
There's some funny ones.
That's it, yeah.
My favorite story about Jimbo and the Aggies in general was I don't know how long ago it was, and I think they did a little special on this. There was some guy that was just on the field, and he picked up a recruiting pass, and he was a Mexican dude. Do you remember this story? And they were and he had a full on the sidelines pass, and people kept asking him who are you? He's like, kicker, and he acted like he didn't speak any English. And he went to the locker room or whatever, and Jimbo asked him who he was, and he told him he was a kicking recruit. And he's like, "Okay, son, stay in the locker room."
Oh, I did see that.
I don't know what
That's
year
right.
that was, but it was funny.
That's so
long time ago.
Funny, yeah. I mean, I guess I'm curious because I don't know. How often do you interact with your head coach on a daily basis as a football player? Because I know it's different as a basketball coach because it's less players on the team and you're in that gym with them. But I would assume it's much less, right?
Yeah, you're pretty. You see your position coach every single day.
Right.
That you're there. During football season, the people you see the most is the strength staff, because for the most part, the coaches, if it's not season, can't touch you. So you're with the strength staff that entire time. But yeah, you don't really see the head coach as much because compared to your position coach. But yeah, you still do. And
right.
He knows who you are, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
He got you to go to school there.
He's the one who recruited you.
It's a lot of names to remember, but they try to do their best. I'm sure they know who they're talking to.
Well,
how many guys were on the team? I always forget. How many guys, as far as college football goes, were on your team when you were there?
100 and
yeah, it's a lot of names, brother.
Wow.
100 and something. Yeah,
I will say Jimbo was the greatest at
memorizing names. Yeah,
he was
most of those guys are really impressive as far as how they can do that. Yeah, I mean, it's just they've done it for so long. And it's really important for them to know, okay, this is just get the names in order and they know who everybody is.
And he seems compared to a lot of coaches, he seems like a very personable guy who really does care. That's what comes off as to me. So then when you decided to transfer, obviously Jimbo leaves A&M. Was that a factor? Was that a big factor, or in entering the portal, or was it other things?
I would say a little bit. I have a lot of love for Texas A&M, and I think Mike Elko and Adam Cushing are going to do a great job over there. But I just had to do what was best for me.
Absolutely.
In terms of my development and me as a player. But I'll always love A&M. I'll be an Aggie forever.
Yeah.
And I wish them nothing but the best for the fall.
Yeah, that's awesome. But I bet you are excited to play at Baylor. I mean,
I am.
That's gonna be fun, man. We have a buddy who, because Turner and I grew up with each other, so we've known each other since we were in 5th grade, and so we went to a private Catholic school growing up. And one of our good buddies, his mom and dad went to Baylor. His older sister, his younger sister, they are crazy Baylor fans. And I will say, like, I know A&M has some wild fans, but man, those guys up there in Waco, they love their Bears. I bet that's going to be fun to play in front of those fans.
I'm super excited for it. I know that all the love and commitment that they have for that program, it's been a blue blood program in the past, and I'm confident that we'll get back there at some point.
Yeah, I mean, they won a Big 12 title not too long ago. I mean, they were right there with Dave Aranda as the head coach, obviously, and yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if y'all got back there very soon. So, curious, in terms of the transfer portal, like what was that process like? Is it similar to getting recruited out of high school?
If anything, it was more because
Wow.
I committed relatively early.
Yeah,
and I got hit up. I was honestly nervous at first because I was like, oh, because they have all those things that they tell you about the portal. When I announced it, I was on the phone from probably 3 p.m. till 10:30 that night.
Wow.
Non-stop, like hanging one up to answer the other. Like, yeah, it was. Offensive linemen in the portal are like gold. It's like the number one position that people go after, and I'm basically I am a freshman.
Yeah.
I took my redshirt year,
Right.
so like here's. You have a kid who's already has a year of college experience and still has the 4 years left.
Right.
So yeah, it was really crazy. Talked to lots of schools, trying to set up visits, all these schools that I wanted to see, but just we got to move.
Right.
Try to make a decision because it's in the spring. It's happening so fast. So I just I set up my visits. I went to UTSA, SMU, and then Baylor.
Right.
But yeah, I heard from a lot of schools. It was crazy days.
I bet. What was it like? Were you able to like enjoy it? Like all these schools like want you. Like obviously that's a cool feeling. Were you able to enjoy it, or was it more of like yeah, it's cool, but I've got so much like I got to decide, and it's like kind of a stressful situation?
I would say it's a little bit of both. Just because at first I was just kind of bummed that things didn't work out at A&M. If anybody who knows me, I'm a loyalist, so I was huge about the Aggies. I have a whole life there, and so I was just like, damn, like this is cool, but like I kind of hate this. I didn't want to do this again. But then like once it got going, I was like, okay, this actually is pretty nice.
Yeah.
To actually be wanted by other teams.
Of course.
And then taking the official visits was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I bet that was cool. Yeah. What stood out to you about Baylor? Like what were the things that you liked that made you kind of lean that way?
They kind of check all the boxes for me. I wanted to go to a place where I was valued in, a place where I could get developed, and a place where I thought I could help make an impact pretty quickly. And they do value me, obviously. And I think that offense that Coach Spavital is bringing in, it's kind of like Lane Kiffin's offense, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
I think it's going to work in the Big 12, and I think that I'm going to get developed there, and I'm pretty positive that I can go help make an impact pretty quickly. So I'm excited to get after it.
I can tell you there's not going to be somebody that works harder than you there. That's for darn sure, man. Like you are one of a kind in that way. It's awesome to watch. So let's see here. We talked a little bit about this beforehand, but we talked about the NCAA football video game. So you did opt in, right, to the video game?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's got to be an awesome feeling to be like you play this game growing up. Like I couldn't imagine a feeling of like, oh, I'm going to be in the NCAA football video game.
It is surreal. I'm hoping that they don't screw me up on the capture.
I bet they'll be all right.
Don't
but
screw up my rating. It's funny. Did they? What was the? And I know this is made public essentially, but what did they do as far as opting in? What did everybody that opted in get? What'd you get?
$600.
Okay, is that what it was?
Yeah, $600 and a copy of the game.
Okay, cool.
I have yet to get either of those things, but I don't think anyone has. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, do you get that? Do you know if you get the game ahead of time, or do you get it like at the day it comes out or whatever?
If I had to guess, I'd probably get like early access.
That's what I would think, right?
Like not like a month in advance.
Right.
Maybe like the week of it comes out, he'll get it. Yeah.
Which is still cool because you'll be like you and all your buddies will be like the only ones who have the game, which would be awesome.
It'll be kick-ass.
I was gonna ask you. I saw a thing you had with Hey Dude. Do you have like a little NIL deal with them, or did they? Yeah. Did they send?
Did.
Yeah.
I did. I did a campaign with them. They had some really cool A&M shoes. I don't think they have Baylor ones now.
You're gonna have to get them on it. Come on, Hey Dude.
We need you.
Get it going.
They don't fit. They only went up to size 15, and I'm a size 17. Yeah, I tried
Jesus
them on. Jesus
Christ, 17?
It looked like a sausage that was about to pop.
Oh, my God. It's like Shaquille O'Neal feet over there, brother. That's impressive.
You know, funny enough, Colton was going to play basketball his freshman year at Smith Valley, which I was stoked about. But, and this kind of is like a funny story because I don't remember exactly how it went down or whatever, but like, it just shows you how committed he really is to he's talking about how loyal he is, and it really is true. Like, so I remember you were going to play basketball, and you can correct me if I misstate anything, but I know that you wanted to try out, but then there was this thing where if you did play, you couldn't do boot camp with the varsity guys, and I swear to you, this is true. Every year we'd have tryouts, and there'd be like 5 or 6 dudes from football, not like Colton, who are really, really good players, but guys who are just like trying to get out of boot camp. Like, they're like, I'm like, why are you here? You're not going to make the team. They're like, I just don't want to go to boot camp or whatever. I'm like, oh my gosh. And Colton's like, I want to go do this. I want to be in it with my brothers and do all this. And it's this camaraderie, and it's a really hard thing, but it's super hard. And I have kids in the class come in and they're just dead tired. They're working their butts off in there or whatever. But, and so you ended up not playing basketball because of that, right?
Yeah, no. So, like that's 100% because I love basketball just as much as I love football, and I was trying to play it throughout high school. But I really wanted to do the boot camp, and I was going back and forth about it. And Coach Thornton, the varsity coach at SV, he was like, "Look, Colton, like obviously, me, Coach Lieck, we'd love to have you, but like we know this isn't where your money's going to be made. So like if you decide to go with football, like 100% we'll get it." And so I don't regret my decision at all. Boot camp was probably my favorite part of all of Smith Valley football, just because all the stuff that it built.
Yeah.
Like, because you took all these guys who don't really know each other from Adam, and they have to come together, realize that this game is bigger than them.
Right.
So we all came together to overcome that huge obstacle that was boot camp.
Right, and that's awesome. That's why Smith Valley is such a good program, because they build that with you guys. I mean, it's all every year, every single year. No matter who it is, it's always a competitive program. Question: Did you strongly consider UTSA? You said you went on a visit there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a lot of love for Coach Traylor, and I hope they do. They do great things this fall, and I'm confident they will.
Yeah, I was just curious because like I was like, oh, that would be awesome if he came to San Antonio, because then like we could go to the Dome and go watch Colton play. But that doesn't mean I won't go up to Waco one time now. I told Ryan, my buddy, who's a big Baylor fan, I will be wearing a Baylor jersey this year. Oh, that'll be the only time you see me wearing a Baylor jersey, because Colton's playing on the team now. But yeah, even though I'm a UT fan, if Baylor's playing, I'm rooting for them. Especially now Texas is out of the Big 12, we don't have to play each other. Have you looked at the schedule at all yet for Baylor this year?
Like our game schedule?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. I think we'll do pretty good this year. I haven't gotten around the rest of the guys, but I'm confident in all the stuff that they're putting in the program that will.
Is there a game you're looking forward to specifically?
We have a lot of big away games.
At Colorado's one, right?
At Colorado, that's going to be
that'll be a fun one. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. We're going to go up to Utah, And I also think BYU. Or no, BYU's coming to us maybe.
Yeah. Those are some cool.
Yeah.
Y'all play Utah pretty early, if I'm not mistaken.
Conference opponent, but it's a non-conference game.
Oh, is it really?
I think it was contracted before they got in the Big 12.
Okay, gotcha. So it's
I forgot. They're in the Big 12. I forgot the Pac-12 got blown into smithereens.
It's
So
the
now we got
Pac-2
Utah.
now,
Yeah, Pac-2.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Pac-2,
Yeah,
baby.
I was looking because I was like, oh, y'all don't have a ton of non-conference games, but that makes sense now that y'all play.
So the only two that are coming over to the Big 12 that were not there before are Colorado and Utah, correct?
And Utah.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So y'all are Tarleton and then at Utah, Air Force, at Colorado, BYU at home, at Iowa State. That'd be a cool
That'll
one.
be a really one.
Wait,
That'd
what
be a cool
about
one.
Arizona State? Are they in the Big 12 too? I thought they
No, I
moved
think they
over.
went to the Big Ten, didn't they?
There's no way they took them out of the Big 10. Arizona State?
I don't remember where they went.
I'm going to have to
actually.
look it up.
Arizona's in the Big 12 now.
Maybe. Oh, I must be wrong.
I think Arizona and Arizona State moved to the Big 12, right?
Oh,
Or no?
let's see. Yeah, y'all are right. Arizona and Arizona State are both
Big
in the
12?
Big 12.
Dude,
Yep. 16
and I know we're talking
16
football
team
here, but
conference.
that basketball conference is going to be
I know.
nuts
That's gonna
now.
be-
Moving the Wildcats in there is going to be wild, too.
That's going to be a very competitive. And they didn't. It's not like, no offense to my Longhorns, but it's not like they're a great basketball program.
Yeah.
So losing them in Oklahoma basketball-wise isn't that big of a deal. It actually might be much better, and they've been the best conference for a while.
It gets better for sure,
Yeah.
with them leaving.
Yeah.
No, I think Utah's going to be a cool one. Another one I'm excited for is TCU, like we talked earlier, Remington. He's in it.
Yeah.
That's one of my closest friends from A&M. He transferred to TCU.
Right.
And so just getting to play against him is going to be a great deal.
That'd be awesome. You got some buddies over there. Where did any of your friends or teammates from A&M, anyone transfer to Baylor as well, or were you the only one who transferred to Baylor?
I was the only one who transferred
Yeah.
to Baylor.
And then what about so Remington, you said he went to TCU. Any of the other offensive line guys leave, or did most of them stay?
Most of them stayed. A guy named Jordan Moko. I'm not going to say his last name because I'll butcher it, but yeah, we called him Moko. He's at NC Charlotte now.
Oh, cool.
Doing a lot of good things. Mhm.
That's awesome.
And then Quill Bertrand, he was in my grade. He transferred to Alabama.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I keep forgetting. It's crazy. There's no Nick Saban anymore. Alabama without Nick Saban is just a wild thing to think about.
It is crazy to think about.
It is. It's like not normal. Like my whole like life growing up. That's Alabama. That's Nick Saban. You picked the two. All right. Who is your favorite NFL team? Are you a Cowboys guy?
I was a Texans fan growing up my entire life.
Nice.
And then they broke my heart one too many times. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll be a Cowboys fan.
Oh,
And
my
dude,
God.
this
You
bad
jumped onto
deal.
that shitty
Yeah,
bandwagon?
yeah, bad
Jesus,
deal.
dude.
Bad
Yeah.
deal.
It's hard
And now,
either way.
and now just jump back over to C.J. Stroud and everybody else the Texans picked up. Give up on the Cowboys quick, dude.
That's Turner's
They've
team.
done nothing in the offseason.
Oh man, yeah, that's gonna be a tough season for Dallas. I don't know. I mean, I hope not, but that's what it looks like. Let's see here. What about NBA? Are you a Spurs guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big Spurs guy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the future. As tough as the last couple years have been, but man, Wemby's
I think they have 2 top 10 picks, right?
Yeah.
How long do you think Popovich is going to stay around?
Man, we were having this debate the other day.
As long as he wants, it's a deal. I just don't think it matters. If he wants to stay and coach till he's 85, they'll keep him, I think.
Well, but the question is, does he want to stay that
Agreed.
much longer?
I think he has 4. I legitimately think he's got 4 years left because I think he knows in the next 2, everybody's going to be coming to play with Wemby and he can win another title. I think that's his deal.
He wants to get Wemby.
I think he wants at least one more shot at getting to the finals. And so I think 4 to 5 years and then he's done. Yeah. But the whole deal with him is, after his wife died and whatever, I know he's got kids and grandkids, but it was just everybody had said that really knows him. It's like, this has always been his purpose, right? What is he going to go do? If he's healthy enough to coach,
Yeah.
he's going to
why
coach.
not?
This is
Yeah.
what he wants to do. And then, he always says in the press conferences, it doesn't hurt that they give me, $10 million a year, whatever it is. It's like, it's not bad. I get to travel and go to my favorite restaurants and booze and drink wine, and they also pay me $10 million to do it. It's like, no, it's
pretty good deal there.
Not
That's
the
a
worst
great-
case. Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah,
Who
no
do you have in
kidding.
the finals?
Man, I thought at the very beginning, this is a terrible pick, but I thought the Clippers had a really good chance. That was who I thought at the beginning. Kawhi sitting out didn't help them at all. Well, we talked at length about that on this podcast, Kawhi Leonard. But yeah, I mean, it looks like Dallas and the Celtics are both going to win. I think I would. Man,
I'm going to say this now. Dylan needs the Celtics to win. Luka and the Mavericks are winning the NBA Finals this year. I heard that here first.
I did bet on the Celtics to win the championship, but I'm a big Luka guy. I'm a huge Luka fan, and I'm a Spurs fan. How do I root for the Mavericks? But I do. He's such a likable guy.
Luka's a great player.
He's a great player.
I said Mavs Celtics like 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
did you really?
Damn, that's impressive.
That's a good prediction.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
I honestly want it to be the T-Wolves because I think Anthony Edwards, when he's hot, is crazy to watch.
Yes.
But no, I didn't.
It's crazy they're down 0-3. These series suck at this point.
Well, what's weird about it is like both series are 0-3, but with the exception of like one of the 6 games that have been played, they've all been really good games. They just have all been won by Dallas and Boston. Like, Boston, we were talking about it.
Games,
Boston could have lost game 1 and game 3. Dallas took a game winner. That was the best thing I saw this week, by the way. Luka's step back game winner over Gobert in game 2. That was awesome. Yeah, that was badass.
Defensive player of the year.
Yeah. What the heck? Got crossed.
So
fell down,
stupid.
doing the Cupid shuffle out there, and I mean, dear Lord, that was something. But yeah, those were both fun series to watch, even though they're 0-3. I think the Celtics probably close it out tonight. But so who do you like? Do you think Mavs or Celtics if that ends up being the finals? Who do you like?
I got the Mavs.
You got the Mavs.
Love it. Love
Are you pulling for the Mavs, even though you're a Spurs fan?
No, not really. I've kind of just been watching.
Yeah.
But I think if Luka gets on the final stage, he's going to get one. But it would be cool. Well, that'd be finals 18.
Yeah.
For the Celtics. That'd be cool.
That'd
be cool too.
That would be cool. Yeah. I guess I'm weirdly rooting for the Mavericks despite being a diehard Spurs fan just because Luka is so likable. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the same. The other night I was watching it and I was like, it's weird because I used to just absolutely hate the Mavs. The funny thing about the Mavs, and you're younger than us, but back when they used to have the crazy, you probably remember them, the series against the Spurs back 10, 15 years ago, it was so many people hated the Mavs, and it was impossible for me to hate him just because I love Dirk so much.
Yeah, Dirk was likable.
And I was like, he was likable. So like when they were playing the Heat and Dwayne Wade, I was like, I hope the Mavs win. Plus the bright side of it is even if the Mavs win this, even if they win the finals this year, they're never going to get 5 or 6 as the Spurs. The Spurs have 5 at this point.
No,
I'm just saying with Wemby, we're going to get more, obviously. But my whole point is they're never getting there. So for me, I think I'm rooting for the Mavs. I'm not a big Joe Mazzulla guy.
Who do y'all think?
I'm not a big Joe Mazzulla man.
Who do y'all think is going to end up having the better career, Wemby or Luka?
Oh, man, that is a tough question. I think, man, Wemby changes the game so much. Like, what dude do you see have a highlight tape of, like, dudes driving into the paint and have, like, a wide-open layup and refuse to shoot it because they're, like, afraid to get blocked? Like, I just have never seen anybody who changes how people play on the court so much. Like, nobody does that to Rudy Gobert, who's won 4 Defensive Players of the Year. But, like, man, Luka's, like, transcendent. He makes tougher shots than I've ever seen anybody make. Like, that's the thing that I think about Luka.
I think Wemby's going to have the better career. Wemby's instant off. Luka's instant offense. He's incredible to watch. He makes 0 impact on the defensive side of the floor.
I agree.
I mean, he's below average defender.
He
makes fantastic shots, and he's fantastic to watch. He makes his team better in offense. I'm not saying he doesn't, but like Dylan said, people are legitimately going out of their way to get away from Wemby.
Yeah.
And Wemby took no shots this year, essentially, and average, 23 a game?
Yeah.
Next year, he'll be up to 26 or 27.
Yeah.
The next year, he's going to be in the 30s, and he doesn't have to be a volume shooter. I mean, he's just...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Luka's the better player right now.
For sure, yeah.
I think it's going to end up being Wemby just because, kind of like you said, he changes the game. Like, he's a 7'4" point guard.
It's
like,
crazy.
It's insane how that guy can move.
We've never seen anything like him. Like, really, in the NBA.
It's pretty cool how he can just shoot, too. I mean, like, he's, when he's got a really good jump shot, which you've never seen from a 7'4" guy.
And I think, like, he didn't shoot it great for the beginning of the year, but, like, I think the second half of the season, he was like above average 3-point shooter in the NBA.
I think he was
7'4".
I think he was above 40% the second half of the season.
He was. That's what I'm saying. He's a really good shooter.
Early on, he was jacking a lot of them up, and then the second half,
Got more selective.
more selective. I believe he was like 42% from three second half of the season. It's pretty incredible.
What about NFL? Who do you think? What teams do you think have a good shot to win a Super Bowl this year? Who do you like to win the Super Bowl?
The Texans are looking pretty nice.
They look good.
Yeah. The Dolphins, I'm a huge fan of the Dolphins.
Oh, yeah?
Just because that's the fastest team on the grass.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think that can kill. I really like the Ravens.
Yep.
And, I mean, the Chiefs most likely could do it again.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to see it.
I know nobody wants to see it, right?
Nobody wants to see it.
Nobody wants to see it. I mean, I respect Mahomes, obviously. And
I'm a Texas Tech dropout and have friends that are, whatever, Mahomes loyalist, and I met the guy a few times, super nice, but I'm also rooting against the team. I don't want to see him win it again, man. I just really don't. I mean, it's want somebody else.
It's crazy, too, because as good as they were, they won the Super Bowl, but could have lost both games very easily. Both those games came down to the wire. Obviously, this year went to overtime, and last year with Philly, the year before that, came down to the absolute wire. The last play of the game was a penalty that gave them a first down. So, yeah, I don't know. I like the Texans a lot. I'm worried. I don't want the Niners to win, but I do like Kyle Shanahan, and I kind of feel bad for him because he keeps getting right there and can't pull it off.
Yeah.
I kind of want him to win one, but yeah, man, I did not see. I don't know if you did, but I did not see C.J. Stroud coming. I had no idea. I had no idea he was going to be that good, at all.
No one did, but that's just the classic quarterback raffle, right? In these drafts, it's like you think you have it all picked out. It's like, oh, this guy's going to be the best.
Right.
And Bryce Young, or Will Levis, that are and then C.J. Stroud is infinitely better than those guys. And we'll see if it changes over the next few years. Who knows? I mean, Bryce Young was on a really shitty team. But even when he's on a better team, I don't think he's going to be near as good as C.J. Stroud. I mean, it's like C.J., I think I've looked at his stats, 24 touchdowns, 7 picks or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And, they protected him, whatever. But now that he's got Diggs and Collins and Tank Dell's coming back healthy after his injury, I think they're going to be pretty good, man.
Who's an offensive lineman you look up to? Who's your favorite offensive lineman? Do you have one?
Yeah, it was Joe Thomas back when he was playing.
Cleveland Browns, right? Or no? Yeah. Is he on Thursday Night Football now on Amazon? I think he is. Yeah.
It's him, Fitzpatrick. Yeah, he's on there with him.
He's a class guy, incredibly talented, loyal to his organization.
Hall of Famer for sure. One team Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's awesome.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I also thought it was cool because I kind of want to do the same thing when he got done with his playing career. He instantly just dropped 100 pounds. It kind of sucks, but that's what you have to do.
Now, this is an interesting question do you have a big appetite, or do you have to eat a shit ton to maintain your weight? Because I know there's a lot of guys that are kind of, I know some guys really struggle with eating the amount of calories, and there's some guys that are I have a buddy that played at A&M that was actually hosted Johnny on his trip. Spencer, he was a nose there, and it was he was undersized, went to Reagan. He was undersized, but he could sit there and eat 5,000 calories, no problem at all. It's just for enjoyment. I'll eat 30 buffalo wings and, whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I do find it hard because, when I was 16, I was 410 pounds.
Yeah.
And so I had to lose all the weight to get to where I am today. And so
you look phenomenal, by the way. You look great.
Thank you. But the only drawback that comes with losing all that type of weight is that you get so self-conscious about it.
For sure.
So yeah, it's not that I actually have to gain weight right now. I'm at 300, 305. I have to get up to 320.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And so it's not that I just can't find myself to eat. It's just my mental.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you, at 30 years old, and it's very hard to lose weight for me now. It's the complete opposite. I'm trying to lose weight, I cannot do it. It's just I don't know.
This guy over here is $135.
No, hold on.
Losing weight.
You cannot see my tummy.
I'm
here,
just
okay?
messing with
I got a big tummy over here. All right. Yeah, that's crazy though. Yeah, like you never you don't think about that, right? Like offensive linemen, like that is a chore that no other like group. I guess you could say defensive linemen, right? But like
all over the place,
the linemen are the ones who have to keep their weight up. Like that's crazy. And you imagine the amount of calories you guys are burning lifting weights and going through.
The one that was
workouts.
the biggest that I've seen and Joe Thomas has lost a lot of weight, but the biggest was Jeff Saturday, the old center for Peyton, dude. He is like fucking, I mean, he looks like he weighs $170 now on the show. I'm like, man, Jeff Saturday lost that weight quick. And centers, as you know, are typically a little bit lighter anyway. But yeah, he lost that weight quick. I think he was like, someone was talking to him. I think he was like 280 around, they probably lied and said he was 300 pounds. But I think when he's like 280 playing center, and now he's $100 something, but yeah, just drop that weight real quick.
It kind of makes sense to me because, like, in that position, all you're doing is all you know how to do is work out, but you also have to maintain it. But then you get done retiring, you don't have to maintain this body frame no more. So it's just like, okay, I could do all this working out and get down to. I bet Joe Thomas is probably like 250.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. He's lost a lot of weight.
That's where I want to be at whenever football's said and done with me.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I got some fun questions here. Okay, good. Like we'll go through this list, and you tell me some of these are stupid, but I was trying to think of some funny things to do on here. So, all right, I guess this first one is not funny, but okay. Favorite sport growing up other than football? I'm assuming was it basketball?
It was basketball.
Okay, basketball. All right.
Also baseball too, but I'm terrible at it.
Did you play growing up?
Yeah, I did. I could hit, I could pitch. But if you asked me to field a ground ball with a gun pointed at my head, I'd say pull it. But
no shot.
Yeah.
Hey, at least you didn't have to coach baseball knowing nothing about baseball. Okay?
Dude, when he told me, this is funny. I grew up playing baseball. I was okay when I was younger.
He's pretty good.
He's like, yeah, I'm coaching the JV, the JVB at Swiss Valley. I'm like, dude, that's a school that actually takes their baseball serious. The fact that you're out there, I know you know fucking nothing is hysterical. And he goes, yeah, it's not too bad. The JVA guy makes my lineup, and I just send him out there, and I give him, like, fake signs sitting over 30s. Yeah, so no clue.
How did you do that?
Like, how did I learn how to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it basically, I got lucky the first year.
Fake it till you make it,
That's
dude.
right.
Yeah.
Literally, like, so COVID hit the first year. So, like, we made the playoffs in basketball, so I actually came over later than I would have normally that first year. And then COVID hit 2 weeks into us playing. So that first year, I kind of got bailed out of it. Like, I didn't have to do anything. And then the second year, I actually had to do it in the third year. So the second year, I basically went in and I was like, man, it would be nice to have done it last year because then I would know something, and I still don't know anything. And so literally, this is a true story. The kids kind of taught me how to do it. Like, literally, they'd be like, I didn't even know what hit and run meant. Like, and I had no clue. And so I like gave the hit and run signal. They're like, coach, you cannot give the hit and run signal if nobody's on base. It's like you're running. It's like you run no matter what. I thought it meant like swing away, like I had no idea, like no clue what I'm doing out here. And then yet we won the district championship as my first year.
Well, that's what happened.
Shows you how much little you need to know to win JVP
Yeah, that's
team
what
games.
it's not about the X's and O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. That's what I always say.
My second year, or my third year, but my second year actually coaching it, we were 0-7 to start, and we were horrible, and I wasn't helping. And I told them if we won every game the rest of the way, I would get a tattoo that said 7-7 because we only had 7 games left, and they dang near did it. They won 6 in a row after that, and we came out to the last game. It was very close. Thank you, Stone Falkenberg, for missing that ground ball. That I didn't have to get my didn't have to get my tattoo.
That's funny.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Save me some ink. Okay, when you go to bed at night, what do you like the AC on?
Oh, I need it cold.
Super cold?
Cold as can be. Yep.
Okay, super cold.
67 sharp, he said.
Oh, man. Let's see. All right. Favorite video game growing up? Did you play video games a lot?
I did. This is gonna sound kind of crazy. I loved Pokemon as a kid.
Really?
Okay.
Oh my God, yes.
No way.
I know a lot of big Pokemon guys.
I played the crap out of all the games up until like 4 years ago when they got trashed. But yeah, I'd probably say Pokemon.
I remember growing up, I never played any Pokemon as far as like on big consoles, but I remember when I was younger, and I'm quite a bit older than you, playing it on the Game Boy. That was the big deal. Pokemon on the Game Boy. Game Boy Color.
I do remember the Game
battle
Boy,
people.
yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
had that, like in elementary school,
I
middle school. Everybody was playing Pokemon on the Color Game Boy.
Were you like, in terms of, were you more shooter games or sports games in that aspect?
All honesty, I didn't really play a whole lot of. I played a bunch of Halo, but
Yeah.
up until COVID, I didn't get. I'm still trash at pretty much every game that isn't a sports game, and even at those, I'm still pretty bad. But
Me too. I'm the same way.
Call of Duty, I didn't really like play a whole lot of until COVID, and then COVID happened. Great time to be alive in terms of playing video games. Such a fun. We'd all play till like 6 a.m. Wake up at 1.
Nothing to do, baby. Yeah. Just play Call of Duty. Yeah, I had a lot of friends same way. We'd do Halo and Call of Duty. That was it.
We'd play that. We played 2K and play that 2K where everybody was like an NBA player online. I literally would play with like Ethan and T.
Yeah, I know. I remember them telling me that.
That was fun, actually. Okay, favorite NBA player, current or past?
I would say current is probably Wemby, but I also like what Anthony Edwards is doing recently.
He's a dog.
Past, I'd have to say Larry Bird.
Oh, yeah.
Because Larry Bird or Kobe because of his work ethic, but like both of them, and Larry Bird was like coined it. He could be like, look, I'm going to do a double crossover and hit it in your face right here, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And they do that.
I was about to give him a high five. I thought for sure his answer was going to be Ginobili. He looks like a Ginobili guy. I'm a big Ginobili man.
We did get a Ginobili last night from Barkley on the TNT broadcast because Manu tweeted something out about Luka or something. Okay, yeah, I like that. Anthony Edwards is awesome, man. That's Turner's favorite player.
I do love
Ant-Man. Yeah.
He's been playing like shit lately, but I do love Ant-Man.
Well, he just had a couple. He played good this last game. Okay, let's see here. Favorite all-time TV show?
Ooh, I actually watch a ton of movies and TV shows. I'd have to say, for me, it's a tie between the Friday Night Lights TV show and The Sopranos.
Yep, good one. Yeah,
ranked the greatest show of all time for a reason. It
is. It's phenomenal. I just finished it like maybe a year ago. I had never watched it all the way through.
I finished it right before spring ball.
You ever watch Boardwalk Empire?
I haven't.
You need to.
That's pretty good. I've seen
it. I would put that. The Sopranos is great.
Boardwalk starts a little slow, but it does get better.
It's about like the mob back in New York, and it's a really, really good one. HBO.
What about what was the other one I was going to ask you? Did you watch Breaking Bad ever?
I did.
Yeah,
and that's a great show.
It's a great show.
Right up there.
Yeah, if anybody asked me what my favorite show is, I wouldn't say it, but it's definitely up there for sure. What about, since you're a big movie guy, movies? Like, what are some of your favorite? You don't have to give me favorite because that's hard, but like a couple of movies that you like go-to movies.
I would say for sports, probably Varsity Blues.
Oh yeah.
Coach Carter's probably my favorite sports movie of all time.
Coach Carter's good.
I'd say my favorite comedy is Old School. With
Old School.
I watched it with my dad. He showed it to me.
That's a great movie.
The scene where they do like the initiation and they had to like throw the cinder block, and then that fat guy fell through the manhole. Like I was like crying, like tears down my face. I was laughing so hard.
That's a great one.
That's good.
Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank. No, can't do it, guys. Sorry, got a big day playing with the old lady. Home Depot, maybe.
So good when it hits your lips.
Did you like the Friday Night Lights movie, or do you like the show better?
I liked the movie, but I was a much bigger fan of the show.
Okay, gotcha. I'm a huge fan of the movie. That's like my favorite movie of all time. I actually, there's a couple of guys on that team who I interviewed Boobie Miles, and Sean Crow was the running back there before, and he's going to come on the show at some point.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, so that'd be cool. Yeah, I absolutely love that whole, like, just the way the movie was made is awesome. But the TV show is great too.
Yes.
TV show is phenomenal.
A good buddy of mine, Harris Sewell, he's an O-lineman at Clemson. He played at Permian.
Oh, did he really? I mean, speak of tradition, I mean, that's crazy, like, the stuff that they've got there. I mean, that is a full-blood football school, like, through and through. Okay, let's see here. If you had to eat one single food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Either my grandmother's spaghetti. She
Okay.
makes fantastic spaghetti.
Okay.
Or I whip up a mean mean steak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I figured you were gonna say steak. You threw me for a loop when you said spaghetti, but if Grandma makes good spaghetti,
Hey,
that's
steak is my go-to as well.
And then you guys obviously went to Smith and Valley, and you were up there for. I always like going to Antler Cafe up there. It's
yeah.
classic. You got to get there. I just remember you have to get there like right at 11 if you're trying to eat lunch there, because every old timer within like 15 square miles is there lined up to go in there, and it's like you either got to get there at noon or you get there right at 10:45 to get in those doors. Classic.
Let's see. Okay, in a NFL defensive end, that would be the toughest to go up against. Or in interior, either way.
Probably Aaron Donald. He was a stud. At A&M, there's some guys that they have on that defensive line that are going to be big time NFL players.
Yeah.
Like Shamar Turner, Shamar Stewart, Nick Scorton, like blocking those guys. I was on the scout team last year, so blocking those guys on a daily basis was.
Well, yeah, I bet.
It was a tough job,
you had your work cut out for you there, because I remember my brother is going to come on the show here soon. Is an absolute psychopath when it comes to just like football recruiting and knowing everything there is. And so he was talking about the class. I guess it was probably 2 years before you or the year before you when A&M landed, the number one top class of all time. And my brother said they had I think it was 5 defensive linemen that were either a 5-star or 4-star going in there.
That's crazy.
Absurd. So you can block those guys in practice. You have nothing to worry about ever.
I know.
Those are the best guys you can go against. Yeah.
Yeah. What an experience to be able to go up against those guys daily.
No.
Yeah, just because they knew that I didn't want to be on scout team. Like, they respected that. We just go at each other's throats every day.
That's
make
awesome.
each other better. Yeah.
I love that.
I love all those guys, and they're going to tear it up this fall.
That's awesome. Okay, let's see. What else I got here? All right. Chick-fil-A or Whataburger?
Whataburger.
Oh, no hesitation.
Patriot.
No hesitation. I love
All right.
it. If you're eating chicken wings, bone in or bone out? Or boneless, I guess.
Yeah. Well, boneless is just chicken nuggets.
That's a good point.
Let's stop the debate
Dude,
about
thank
it.
God.
Let's stop this madness right here.
Dude, when he hesitated for a second, I was about to say, "Oh my God, he's going to say boneless." I was like, "That's gonna set offensive lineman back 20 years." He says boneless.
You know I'm a bone in
yeah,
fan.
of course.
He stopped me right there.
God bless
there.
God bless you.
The $20 meal that you can get at Wingstop, it's 20 boneless wings. That's pretty.
You go hammer that one for 20.
For $20.
I can respect that, but if it's
I like boneless
money's
wings.
not a deal, and you get whatever you want.
Have the
bone in, of course, please. You gotta have the bone in.
I can't say anything.
I don't
I'll
know
get made fun of
anybody.
over
Yeah,
here.
he's a fucking chicken nugget. This is a well done steak chicken nugget, man. Okay, that's disgusting.
Can't believe you'd go pay good money for a ribeye.
Oh my God.
See, I don't. I just get the very cheap 6-ounce
There you
sirloin at Texas Roadhouse. There you go. Yeah, I'm not gonna go get a prime rib. Let's see here. Best place. I don't know if we talked about this. Best place to eat in College Station. What was your favorite place to eat there?
Honestly, if 1860, it's an Italian place. That place was amazing.
Okay.
And then we went to Chewy's a bunch there. I know that's not like a College Station staple. The Dixie Chicken's really good as well.
What's the I can never remember because I have a bunch of Aggie friends that are like to curse me out and tell me what is it Lanes and Canes?
Yes.
Is it Lanes? Okay.
Lanes is
so
better than
Lane. Of
Canes.
course, you have to say that because you're an A&M guy. All my Aggie friends
but
are like,
trust me,
"Oh no, Lanes." I mean, I've had them both. They're both very good, but my friends are like, "No, Lanes is way better than Canes." And
Wait,
I'm like,
what's the difference?
It's not much, brother. They're really very similar
first
chicken
letter in the
places.
name.
Yeah,
That's
the
it?
exact same
it's the
orders.
exact
Yeah.
same shit.
Ah, okay.
It really is and people always be like, Lane's so much better. And I was like, I go over there and I'm like, dude, this is Cane's. What the fuck are you talking about? The sauce is good. Yeah, they lose
The
their
sauce
mind.
is better. Yeah, that's
Okay.
honestly why I
They're both they're both
Yeah.
good. They're both good.
I will have to try
Yeah,
it
yeah.
then.
Lanes or Canes. That's always the argument in College Station.
We already had favorite NFL team. Okay, what was and you might mix this up, but what's your pregame meal usually?
So in high school we had the Chick-fil-A catering order, and so it was that. But the pregame meal, it might be different at Baylor. I don't know yet, but we always had and it sucked when we got all those 11 a.m. games because it was always a steak and potatoes. So you're sitting here at 6 in the morning trying to chief down a freaking 6-ounce filet. I'm like, dude, can I get some eggs, please? Like,
That's before the 11 o'clock games.
Yeah.
They're giving you the old.
That is so funny.
That is kind of crazy. You figure, and like, money's no object there. They spend money on whatever. It's like, you figure you throw the boys some scrambled eggs with the steak, right? Like no one wants a baked potato at 6 a.m. That's that's wild. That's a wild move.
That is actually wild. Oh, man. Okay, I already asked NFL offensive lineman. Let's see. Who was the best athlete on Texas A&M last year?
I would say probably Moose Muhammad. That dude is a freak of nature.
Is he wide receiver?
He is.
Yeah.
Him, Jade Walker is another crazy stud athlete.
Did Moose transfer? Or is he still there?
He's
still there? Okay.
On the defense, Rylan. Why can't I think of his last name right now? He's number 15.
Uh-huh.
I want to say it's his third year playing football, and he's going to start. Kid's a natural freak athlete.
That's crazy. Is he a DB?
He's a DN.
DN, okay. Wow.
And then my roommate, Damian Sanford, one of the most athletic dudes I've ever been around.
Did a lot of those guys, like your buddies who play on that team, were they multi-sport athletes in high school, or did they play just football?
A lot of guys played football and basketball. I think pretty much everybody did football and track at some point.
There's that ongoing debate, that Austin Rivers brought up or whatever, like how many guys in the NBA could transfer to the NFL, whatever. And I'm like, there's a couple freak athletes of both who could do both, because most of those guys are multi-sport athletes. Like, I think it's such a dumb debate. We talked about it the other day. Like, I think it's so ludicrous to say, oh, there's 30 guys in the NBA that could. That's absolutely nuts.
I would say that you could take football players and they could produce more playing basketball than the other way around.
That's what Turner was saying.
That's what I said, but he's a basketball.
Well, hold on.
Homer,
Did I said there were 3 guys
homer.
or 4 guys who could do each. I think you could translate them both. They're freak athletes.
Yes.
I don't think there's 30 of either who could go, but I do.
Yeah,
Turner made
not.
a good point. It was like, you look at some of the guys who can't play offense in the NBA, and it's like, you're telling me you couldn't put the best athletes in the NFL on the court and be like, go rebound and play defense and make layups? 100% they could do that. So I think it's just a dumb debate, but anyway. Okay, let's see. Favorite breakfast cereal when you were a kid?
Oh, Honey Smacks.
Oh, okay.
that's a take.
Way more important question than that. Favorite breakfast taco as a young buck, or still now? What do you go for?
I'm a big chorizo guy.
Chorizo, egg, and cheese? Or you go chorizo and potato, all the above, do it all?
That's the one thing that sucked moving from San Antonio to College Station. We are spoiled down here with the Mexican food.
Dude, you're not shitting me. When I went up to Lubbock, 10 plus years ago for college, I remember going downstairs from my dorm, and so they would do we call them tacos at night and put them in soft tacos. And I'd go down there and be like, hey, I want a potato, egg, and cheese taco. And people would look at me like I was a fucking nut job. And I was like, listen, the little tortillas that you do for dinner and whatever? I go, I just want you to put some of that egg and some of those potatoes and some of that bacon in the tortilla. And that's all I want. It was shocking to them. They don't know what breakfast tacos are, especially in West Texas. Now, College Station, I'm not too sure. But yeah, West Texas, they don't know breakfast tacos.
Yeah, the Mexican food scene is not the same in College Station that it is in San Antonio, and so it was always nice to come back here.
Yeah,
get something. I've always said that I always thought the $1 million idea is go to, and I had one of my buddies and me had talked about opening, and we talked about it earlier, Chimmy's. It's just a gold mine. I said, you open a Chimmy's in every single college town around the country, it's a gold mine. But I said, if you can't do that, which you can't because they're family owned and franchised, you just get a Mexican food place that makes really good breakfast tacos from San Antonio and franchise them out. $1 million idea. I mean, it's that place is never going out of business. Yep. Everybody, the drunk food the next morning for college students, I mean, it would never be going out of style.
When you were at FV, what was your go-to taco joint?
Jalisco. I would go to Jalisco a lot. When there was that food truck that De Hoyos' mom.
Betty's, yes.
Oh my gosh, Betty's was so good.
Tacos.
When that was there, I stopped going to, and I love Jalisco, but I would just always go to Betty's. Always. I mean, it's so good, and they were big. Oh man.
For tacos, I'd probably go with Texas Tacos.
Texas
Tacos
Tacos solid.
She was there, yeah. Or
Where's
Tacos.
which one?
Come
Where's
out
Texas
Tacos.
Tacos up there? I'm trying to think. I was
Right
in
off
one.
of 46.
It's right there. Okay. I'm not in the morning, especially not up there much. but
Comal Tacos is good too. That one's on. They had like an actual place, and then I think they were going to redo it, and it just became like a truck, right? For a little bit.
It's just a food truck now, I think,
Yeah.
but it's the same tacos.
It's same tacos, so really good.
Jalisco, I got to get the meat omelet every time I go there. It's classic for me.
Okay, that's it. I might have to try
I mean,
that
people
one.
that are just not from, and I don't know how many people that even watch a show from outside of Texas, but people that are not from Texas just have no idea about the breakfast scene and the breakfast taco loyalty. It's like,
Yep.
you have no idea what you're missing out
Yeah.
on. There's nothing better than a Mexican food joint that has fantastic tortillas and breakfast tacos. Nothing better.
No kidding.
Nothing better.
All right, I got a few more for you here. Vacation. Are you more of a beach guy or like snow, skiing, snowboarding type?
I love going to I love being in any type of body of water.
Yep.
Like I was just up at the lake. I love it there. My goal is to grow old at Lake LBJ. Like, yeah, I'm not opposed to going up. I went skiing one time. I was in 5th grade, and I liked it just fine. I think it'd be super fun. But just being as big as I am and a football player, if I go down on skis, it's not gonna be a good deal.
Floating is much better for sure. Yes, I agree. I'm a beach guy myself.
You can't go wrong with, I'm more of a, like you just said, lake guy.
Yeah.
The beach, I hate sand.
I
hate it.
I don't mind.
I hate the sand. I'm a LBJ guy. Golf. Go sit on a boat all day.
Yep.
Drink 9 million
Do you
beers.
play golf?
I do. I suck, but I love to play golf.
I suck.
You
too.
don't have to be good to enjoy it, brother. You just
Hey,
have a good time.
I suck too. Yeah. Maybe next time when you get time when you finish playing or when in the summer one time we'll get Ethan and Teeple and we'll go out. And play
yeah,
scramble
actually,
out there.
you
That'd be fun.
gotta get a teammate, and we'll record some of it, and you'll have
yeah.
to take me and Dylan on. And
Yeah, scramble. There you go. I like that. Yeah.
It's always a good time. Who did we used to play? Who are the two guys we used to always play out there?
Owen Woodard
Owen.
and Cody Garcia. They played basketball
Cody,
at
yeah,
Smithson
yeah.
Valley. Yeah, that was we
Cody
played
cracks
them.
me up.
Let's see here. Okay, this is the last one I got. Okay, desert island. This is a very classic question. Strand on a desert island for 1 year by yourself. Nobody else is there. Nobody's coming. You can bring 5 things, but you do have Wi-Fi. They can't find you for a year, but you get Wi-Fi. So you can bring things that will connect to Wi-Fi. I don't know. This is a delusional world I'm living in. So 5 things you could bring if you're stuck there by yourself, no other people for a year.
Let's see. I'd bring a flamethrower. Get that out of the way.
I
That's
love
good to
it.
go. Yeah.
I love flamethrowers.
Yeah,
Good choice. Good choice.
Probably bring a gun and
Okay.
a year's worth of ammo, and then if I have Wi-Fi, but I'm still stranded.
Phone.
Yeah.
You have the phone. I mean, you gotta have a Wi. You gotta have if you have Wi-Fi, you gotta have a computer or a phone out there. You might as well take advantage.
I'll take a
Take a phone.
Yeah.
phone and the TV.
Okay. I like it.
That
Let's
sounds
see
like the dream, dude.
here. Yeah.
That does
No
sound
one
kinda
can
nice.
find you. It's just Wi-Fi, but you also have a TV, so you can
That's
watch
Turner's dream.
all the games. Yeah,
Turner's dream.
Don't want to talk to anybody. And just an unlimited supply of Miller Lite for me. That would be my 5th item. Just ice, nothing but ice. Big cooler, Miller Lite.
At some
I would
point,
never talk
Tito's
to
or-
any. Yeah, either way,
Tito's or Miller Lite's going to
whatever.
sponsor us at
Yes,
some point.
yeah,
We don't know
please.
when, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's all I need.
Are you, I know we'll wind it down here, but are you too young to know Bill Walton?
I do not know that.
Okay, yeah. Famous NBA guy. He was playing before we were born. We only know him because we're degenerates and watch every single freaking sports game. And so he commentates college basketball now, and he's a nut. But he died today. So, yeah, Turner's favorite commentator, no doubt.
Love you, Bill.
Yeah.
Love you, brother.
Bill Walton's a legend. Absolutely.
The one thing I prayed today when I heard he died, this is 100% true. I prayed this. I prayed that Bill got to go to the Grateful Dead show at the Sphere. They were there for the last 2 weeks. He's a big Deadhead. He's a big Beach Boys fan. But if he saw the Grateful Dead at the Sphere, he could have died happy. So
Yeah,
I
that's
pray
fair.
to God
I like
he was
that.
there. And he says he never missed a Beach Boys show ever, which Kevin Love has backed up. His uncle's actually in the Beach Boys. And I forgot, I think it was Bill Pash, or Dave Pash, have you ever seen Bill at the Beach Boys show? He said, I've never missed a show. And Kevin goes, I've been going for 10 years, and Bill Walton's there at every single show. He's a legend. legend. But I hope he was there. I hope he saw the Grateful Dead at the Sphere. And very, very sad.
Yeah. Also,
I'm a big Bill Walton man.
One other thing in the sports world, our San Antonio Brahmas beat the Birmingham Stallions this week. UFL, baby.
What a team.
What a team. Ended the 15-game win streak.
What a team coached by Wade.
Yes.
I love good football in San Antonio. You love to see it.
It's awesome.
Right.
Because our fan base here is crazy. Like,
I know.
Always just needed a good football team. And then Coach Traylor did it with UTSA, and now they got the Brahmas. Maybe they'll get an NFL team.
Man.
Not until Jerry croaks. Can't happen soon enough.
Well,
you don't have to comment on that. I know you're saying it can't happen soon enough.
Cut half a turn talking out on this podcast. No, I'm kidding.
Most of the time, that's what happens. You can't put this on the internet. But as soon as Jerry's gone, San Antonio gets a team.
I will say,
Tom Benson and Red McCombs tried to move their teams.
Yeah.
Those are facts.
Yeah.
And I'm glad the Saints didn't move because New Orleans needs them. But when Katrina basically wiped them off the face of the earth.
I went to a game at that point.
I went to two of them.
They played their
They were
season
here. They were here.
In the dome.
So Tom Benson moved them here. And then Red McCombs, who's obviously San Antonio's own the Vikings. He tried to move them here several times. And it got blocked by the NFL. Because of Dylan's boy, Jerry Jones, and a disgusting Dallas Cowboys.
I'm just a Cowboys fan. What do you want me to do here?
What's his deal about having a San Antonio team?
Because this market's all his fans. Everybody here is his fans. He wants
You think they're going to steal them or what?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, San Antonio people, they're going to get tickets and be season ticket holders, and it's just as far as like the TV markets go, where the Cowboys play on Fox, and it's like all of Texas. I mean, if we had a team here, he loses a lot of that. So it makes zero business. I get why he doesn't want it from a business perspective, obviously, but that's what it is. I mean, I have no idea if we'll ever get a team here, but the nice thing about the NFL is you have 8 home games a year. If we put it at the Alamodome or anywhere else, we'd sell out in a heartbeat.
Yes.
I mean, anywhere in Texas, it's like we get, 15,000 people at high school football games. You think we can't get 70,000 in an NFL game? I think we'd be just fine.
Yeah,
so yeah,
we are a good fan base. All right, I think that's all I got. Are we? Do you have anything you want to push on here? Anything you got going on you want to talk about?
No, thank y'all so much for having me out. I've had a great time. This has been so fun.
Yeah, it's been a blast, man. You are welcome on the show whenever you want. We are very grateful for you coming on. It's been a blast getting to talk with you here. Make sure I'll put Colton's social media and stuff. Follow him on Twitter. I'll put that on Instagram. I'll put that on the caption below. Make sure to comment, like this video, subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the start of football season. We'll see if we can get there. But thank you guys, as always, for watching and signing off from San Antonio, Texas. Thank you again to Colton Thomasson for joining us, and we will catch you guys next time.